The Mariners made some moves.
Yeah, they did.
And I was very excited, Brig,
I
about
know.
this. First thing is they signed Mitch Garver, free agent from the World Series winning Texas Rangers. 2 years, $24 million with a mutual option for 2026, which means both have the option that year.
Terrific.
I am fired up about this. I thought it was a great move. It's like when you're going through the $5 movie bin at Walmart. You're like, whoa! Like, I don't
Tremors 4.
know. I wouldn't say Tremors 4.
I know.
I would say like Harry Potter in the $5 movie bin at Walmart
Oh
on
my
Blu-ray
God.
with special edition.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Right? Like that's a good.
Which
That's a
Harry
good,
Potter though? It's got to be the fourth one. That's the best one.
Oh, I'd say
I
the
think.
fifth one. Fifth one's my favorite one.
Is it your favorite? I like the
Yeah,
fourth one's my favorite. Which book is your favorite?
The fifth book and the fifth movie are my favorite.
Oh, see, I feel the same way about number 4. Okay, anyway. Baseball family, let us know which Harry Potter film is your favorite, which Harry Potter book is your favorite. This is really intense information. We have to know.
Yeah.
Also, hold on, before we move on, what house are you in? Like, it's the whole thing. Okay.
All right.
What house are you in, Brad?
Hufflepuff, 100%.
Of course you are.
Brig, every time I take that stupid quiz, I end up in Hufflepuff.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah. Yep.
I'm in the same house every time too. I'm a Ravenclaw all the way.
There you go. That's cool. That
Straight
works.
up.
I think that's why this show works, honestly.
Yeah, I think you're right.
A Hufflepuff and a Ravenclaw.
Woo!
And I've
That's
heard of
awesome.
Hufflepuff referred to as Hufflepuff Puff, and I think that's
Oh,
fitting as well.
That's fantastic.
Anyway,
All right.
I'm excited about the Mitch Garver deal. The Mariners traded away Jared Kelnick, and they bring in Mitch Garver, who honestly the two guys had very similar numbers this last year. But what Mitch Garver has is 0 water coolers kicked. So
and a World Series championship.
Bringing a winning attitude into a clubhouse.
Right.
Yeah. So no, I think it's great. And don't get me wrong. Like I said, I make that joke about Jared Kelnick. I love Jared Kelnick from the day the Mariners traded for him. Right. Like,
for sure. Yeah.
Huge Kelnick fan. It's just there was somewhat of a bad attitude there that is now getting out of the clubhouse.
Agreed.
And so I like the Mitch Garver replacement. I think it'll work well, and I think Jared Kelnick will thrive in Atlanta. Anyway, moving on. Next deal that the Mariners made, and this one, another one I love.
Yeah.
Okay, and don't get me wrong, I loved Robbie Ray in 2022. He had his ups, he had his downs, and he gave up a walk-off home run in the playoffs in a game that the Mariners should have won.
100%.
However, he pitched 4 innings in 2023 and then missed the rest of the year because he needed Tommy John.
Yep.
Was not scheduled to come back until about the All-Star break of 2024.
Yeah.
And so it's like, man, the Mariners pitching rotation sure is going to get really crowded about the All-Star break. Like, what do you do with 7 legitimate starters?
Yeah.
Right? So what they did was they were like, let's not worry about it so much. Let's deal with our 6, figure it out in spring training, and we'll ship off Robbie Ray to the Giants and bring back old Mitch Haniger, fan favorite, clubhouse favorite, Mariner for life.
Yep.
Love everything about this deal so much. And my joke was, I think I sent this to Jewel. I don't remember if I sent it to you. I know I posted it on Facebook. It's like, tell me you messed up without telling me you messed up. I'll let Mitch Haniger walk in free agency.
Whoops. Yeah.
So he's coming back. He's going to get that clubhouse in order. And I am so for this. I don't care if the guy doesn't stay healthy. He seems to have a problem with he needs to be made of glass.
Yeah.
He's always injured. But his presence in the clubhouse is significant. And I'm
agreed.
So excited to have him back. The Mariners also got Anthony DeScalfani and $6 million.
Can't help but love that $6 million.
Yeah, especially for a team that we'll get into it a little bit later, says they are strapped for cash.
Let me tell you something about the Mariners. This is their window, and I think they're blowing it.
I 100% agree with you, Brig. But
I think they have a small window between
90%. I 90% agree with you. Go ahead. Tell me about the window.
I just think that between today and 24 months from now, it's all going to be over if they're not really careful.
Do you think they have a 2-year window?
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you why you're wrong about that 2-year window.
Okay.
Because the
3?
Mariners have some really, 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 really great guys in the farm system.
Yeah. How far back are they?
There's one guy who, so Jonathan Clase could make his debut this year, and he's killer infielder, third baseman most likely,
Okay.
like money. And then there are a bunch of guys in 25, and then a couple more in 26, and they just signed like the top 10 international prospects like yesterday.
Right.
And they have Felnin. Gosh, I can't remember his name, but Felnin. He's like 17 when they signed him, and he was the number 2 international prospect last year, and they signed him.
Nice.
So they have a really deep farm system with some great prospects. They are a couple years out, I'll give you that. But the 2-year window, though, it's almost like things start over. They'll keep their core, but they'll replace position players with upgrades. So like Josh Rojas, if he sticks around for another 2 years, at the end of that 2 years, they can replace him with a significant upgrade at second base.
Okay.
So right now they kind of have guys who are placeholders for those guys. I don't know. I honestly don't think the Mariners are shooting for a World Series. Like I know I said 2023, right? But that was because I was hoping for the holy trinity of Julio, Kyle Lewis, and Jarred Kelenic all clicking. Whereas Kyle Lewis isn't even in baseball anymore, and Jarred Kelenic had an attitude problem that couldn't keep him in baseball, right? So
yeah,
I think the Mariners are shooting for 2026.
Okay,
with the list of prospects they have.
Right. I'm just saying, why not shoot for 24-25 with the list of prospects?
So this is the thing, is that I think they can, right? That's one thing. I've been looking at the depth of the farm system and being like, okay, they're not making a whole lot of moves this offseason. They made a few, right, in a couple days that we just talked about.
Yeah.
Because they also traded Jose Caballero, who is an infield utility guy,
right,
for Luke Raley from the Rays. I
not
love
a bad
that
decision at all.
Right, like that is a major upgrade. Everybody loves Cabbie. He's scrappy, he steals bases, but he also makes some super boneheaded mistakes on the base pass.
Yeah,
and he's not a super duper hitter. He has some pop. He can hit home runs, but he also strikes out a ton. Okay. So the Mariners are putting together, because they are dealing with some financial issues, like significant, because of the TV issues, right?
For sure.
We'll get into it a little bit more later. I know I say that, but we will get into it.
Yeah.
So they're trying to, I don't want to say they're trying to play Moneyball, but they're working on putting together the best team they can on a budget by getting the role players to fit in the pieces, right, as like significant placeholders. Like I said, Class A could make a debut this year, which means that Urias is out, right? And I know that Class A is not a proven big leaguer, so you could go out and you could sign Matt Chapman for a bunch of American dollars and bring him in, and you've got a proven big leaguer at third base, rather than relying on a prospect, a top prospect,
right?
Guy who could still hit bombs, right? And play Gold Glove defense, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So I don't know. It's gonna be an interesting year. After the Raley deal, like after the Haniger and Raley deal, I was kind of like, okay, like this feels like a 90-win team, but you got to win like 93 to get the playoffs.
Yeah.
So there's got to be a move made somewhere to get those other 3 wins, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if they're going to make it.
I just think, well, it's not my club. I don't know. I just think that given the situation around the league right now, this sounds like this year and maybe next year is their best chance in this moment to make it to the World Series, especially if you consider that Ohtani is going to be out,
not pitching
as a pitcher.
Yeah.
It just means, to me, it's like, great, you have a cool farm system, and I think that's awesome, and that's nothing to shrug at. But why not make moves with that farm system and win today?
I know, and that's the thing I've been wanting to do, is like, this is the thing, is like the Mariners have a bunch of pitchers. There was a lot of talk that they were going to potentially make a move for Randy Arozarena because the Rays want pitchers and the Mariners have a bunch of them.
Right.
Like that's the move that needed to be made.
Right.
Is that you needed to be like, okay, we have Brandon Wu and Emerson Hancock. You want both those guys? Okay, we got Robbie Ray coming back. But now Robbie Ray's gone. You can't make that move. You can move one, but not both now.
Right.
Because you've already moved Marco Gonzalez, who, by the way, is like jacked now. That shocked me.
Yeah.
Because he is a crafty lefty. But anyway, yeah, no, I do think there are some moves that can be made to get them to 95, potentially even 100 wins.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to make them because they want to keep the pitching depth because they got rid of part of their pitching depth. And I think that they're really counting on some of those farm guys for the next couple years to come in and plug some holes. Because that's the other thing is that significant injuries are going to happen. And I think the other thing too, now that I think about this too, is that I think that they're planning on Ty France taking a step forward because he had a terrible year last year.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, this is not who Ty France is. He's going to come back and have a better year this year. Ty France has a better year. The Mariners probably win 2 more games. Honestly,
maybe more.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to be conservative with 2 games, but you win 2 games, you're in the playoffs as the Mariners.
Yeah, right.
You know, so I don't know.
Oh.
There's my 20-minute soapbox on what's going on in Seattle.
All I'm saying is I'm disappointed.
I would have liked to have seen more moves. I would have liked to see them be more aggressive for Juan Soto. And I understand, like, you can't pay $31 million in arbitration. Spoilers. And you don't want to give up that much for a rental, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So I understand all that. But anyway,